This episode is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got it all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, fill your card up with all their amazing comics. Use the discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. Save you 10% at checkout. Not only on their website, but also at their eBay account. And the link to eBay can be found on their homepage at CarterComics.com. Again, CarterComics.com is your one-stop shop for all comic needs. What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of this freaking show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. And we are doing this pre-4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily for all you out there who are traveling to fireworks or traveling to a family barbecue and everything, gets to listen to this podcast on the 4th of July, the day it comes out. So good for you. Good on you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you guys are welcome for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we're able to do this. My internet is officially back up and running. Do not like modems. Do not like routers. To me, I still don't believe in the logic of them because in my mind, you think you should just be able to hook up the cord right to like the internet and just say, "Hey, go." I don't get it, but I don't know. I mean, isn't it supposed to be more like cable? Like, I mean, I just remember hooking like a cable like cord up to like a TV, and it might.
There was a time.
Yeah,
There was a time.
everything just becomes complicated. How are you, Joe?
I'm all right. A lot of
Yeah.
running around to do before the 4th of July.
Anything fun for the 4th?
Well, we always participate in our neighborhood parade. That the church's neighborhood, I should specifically say. So
Is it a parade with floats or
no, just people in the community walking down the street.
throwing candy?
Basically. Yeah. A lot of them throw candy. So we actually have not marched in probably 3 years. Just we don't have enough able-bodied people to carry our banners.
Okay.
So we set up a little tent near in front of the church, which is at the end of the parade route, with water and lemonade and popsicles. So
I like that. That's sweet.
yeah.
You said that's the day of the 4th. So
Yep.
tomorrow. Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah, I believe they step off at 9:30.
exciting. That's exciting.
Yep.
I'm excited because in about 10 minutes from now, I should start seeing fireworks go off. So,
Nice.
town just south of me, they do their fireworks on the day before the 4th of July because other places do their fireworks on the 4th of July. So, I'm not sure if the tree will block it or not, or I might be seeing it, but it looks like a kind of a clear night. So, I'm really excited for that. I know on the 4th of July too, laying in my bed. I don't know who does it, but they've done it for the last at least 3 years I know of. They shoot fireworks out in the country just behind me that way. Well, my bedroom's over here, and if I lay just right, I could peer through the window of my guest room, and I can see onto the field. And I can see the fireworks go off, so it's pretty cool. I don't do a lot for the 4th of July, but I do enjoy the firework festivities of a 4th of July. So it's pretty cool.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. We mentioned last week we are going to talk about some of these criminal politicians,
Oh, that's right.
crooked politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is July 3rd, I figured because we both are Illinois residents, we obviously got to talk about some of the laws that passed July. Well, according to the internet, all laws going into effect July 1st, even though it's 2 days later. Maybe we'll play the old traditional game of my Corona. Maybe bring that back. I'll give you some of these laws and stuff that they're talking about. Get your opinion on them. We were gonna have a guest on this evening. Unfortunately, things didn't work out the way they did, where we could have. But
Yep.
um, it's the final piece of the collection, as I said in chat, that
Mhm.
we need, so I can complete my GCL on TFS chat and collection. And I'm really excited because when Nico comes on to the podcast, the title of that episode will be completed GCL collection. So I'm
Nice.
excited for that, and hopefully we could do that soon because he's one I don't know if I ever been on like a long like because I know I've been on Geekcast Live at least three times.
Hmm.
It may have been a fourth, but at least three times. I know the last time I was on, it was just you, me, and GCR. The first time I was on, I can't remember if I think Nico was there. I just can't remember. That's
Yeah.
the one where me and Ryan got deep.
Oh
And
yeah.
then the other one was it was a brief it was during one of your anniversary shows.
Oh yeah. Nice.
I feel like there was one in between. There was another one in there, I just can't remember. But I've always been excited to have a conversation with Nico because think out of everyone, he seems like the biggest wrestling fan out of all of you. And to have a wrestling conversation with him would be pretty cool.
Hmm.
Uh, Also because he's so lesser known to me than the rest of you guys,
Hmm.
intrigues me. And
Hmm.
I just want to know
Man of
more
mystery.
about him. So
For sure.
what are you doing, WQAD?
Playing ads. Ruining music.
Yeah, yeah, with music and everything. I mean, it was like smooth jazz, which is awesome, but I mean, I've never thought I'd live in a world with unwarranted smooth jazz.
Hmm.
Yeah, but here we are.
That's a world
Okay,
I'd like to live in.
right, right. I mean, like, listen, I would never say no to spontaneous smooth jazz.
Hmm.
Name of the show, spontaneous smooth jazz. Um, just not what I'm trying to podcast. You
Hmm.
know?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yep. It's, and here's the thing, if it was like a slow build or maybe it was trying to be some ambiance in the back, absolutely. But it is like trying to like smack me in the face with like boom, smooth jazz. Like,
Yeah, it gets your attention for whatever
right?
story.
Like, hey, I'm here. It's like, I know you're here. I hear you.
Hmm.
I feel you. I feel you across the face. So, um, Joe, let's go through some of these laws and everything, these laws and bills and all stuff because uh, again, 36 years old, I don't know what the hell it is, but a bill is a law that's not a law yet, correct? Is that what Schoolhouse Rock taught us?
Yeah, that's a good enough description.
Right? So a bill is is a law that wants to be a law.
Yeah,
It just hasn't been a law yet.
right. Once it's
Okay,
passed, it becomes a law.
gotcha. Has been signed many of these bills into law. Well, okay, so we're gonna play My Corona. If you guys don't know what My Corona is, during the pandemic, we created a game to kind of lighten the mood of the COVID-19 pandemic, but also kind of incorporate the fact that Corona's a beer. And Corona comes in different styles, whether it be Premier, Light, or what the hell's the other one? Extra.
Extra. That's right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some of these laws and bills and stuff over to Cartoon Joe here, my co-host, and he's going to give me a rating of Premier, Extra, or Light. Premier being we absolutely need it. An Extra is we can take it or leave it, or Light is it's kind of unnecessary. Um, I will give my opinion as well,
Hmm.
and just a little fun to say, hey, listen, this is what's happening in Illinois. So for those of you who don't know, now you know, and for those of you who do know, well, you could judge me on the fact that maybe I'm not explaining stuff right. I don't know. I don't know. I can only read what is given to me by the Smooth Jazz
Hmm.
website, WQ88 ABC. So this is where I'm getting the laws from, as far or the bills from. As far as laws, that's going to be somewhere else, and I will mention that where I find that. So According to WQAD 8, ABC, Springfield, Illinois, editors note, Capitol News, Illinois contributed to this reporting. Cool. Okay. Over 500 bills passed through the Illinois House and Senate during their most recent legislative session.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not seeing that list somewhere. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. I'm sure if I looked hard enough, I could sure find a list of 500. But maybe my problem is I keep searching Illinois laws, not bills. Maybe that's the problem.
Mm.
Governor Pritzker has been signing many of these bills into law, with most taking effect immediately and others starting July 1st. Now, this article is from June 30th. How was that? Well, this is June 30th, 2023. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I need something more updated. Absolutely not. That's on
Somehow
me.
I was going to say I didn't think that 500 bills had passed, but
Absolutely not. I don't. Why would Google put that at the top of the list here? Why would Google do that? Absolutely not.
um, the word which was coined by author Cory Doctorow is enshittification.
Ooh, nice word. I like that.
Yeah, it's a great word. It really describes the state of the world, I think.
Let's see. What the hell is this? No, I don't want to do this. I don't know what this is. Bless you. Or that was a cough. I don't know what that
Thank you.
was.
I was cough, but thank you.
Yes, yeah. CBS. I'm not doing you, WQAD. Yeah, see, is this a different one?
No, I wasn't leaving. Why are you doing this to me?
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to WQAD. This one is from June 30th of 2025. Again, I can't find anything from July 2nd or July 3rd of these laws are in effect. I get everything the day before saying here's what's coming. So bear with me. WQAD, we're going back to you. We're going to talk about laws. So here we go. So starting July 1st, which was 2 days ago, dozens of new Illinois laws will take effect, impacting everything from worker pay and education policy to public health and criminal justice. Below is a breakdown of some of the most notable changes going into effect across the state. So, uh,
Dozens. Sorry, I had to do the Arrested Development thing.
wait, what was that?
Oh, Arrested Development. There's a great bit where I forget which character it is. I think it's Tobias Funke, but he says there are dozens of us, dozens.
I just started watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. The first one I have here is gasoline and diesel tax increase starting July 1st. Illinois' motor fuel tax rate will rise by 2.82% to reflect inflation. The new rates are 55.8 cents per gallon for diesel and 48.3 cents per gallon for gasoline. This annual increase required by state law is tied to the Consumer Price Index and affects all motor fuels used on public highways and recreational waters in Illinois.
Hmm.
So, Joe, is this law a premier, extra, or link?
Uh, uh, extra is the one in the middle.
Take it or leave it, yes.
Yeah, I could take it or leave it.
Okay.
I see the pluses of it. I see the minuses of it. I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. Right now for me, like thinking about it logically, because like obviously like driving to work, I saw the price, like which is goofy because so this says 2.8% and other places say like a penny, which I think pretty is what it is. It's a penny. Um, the one thing that bugged me the most about it when I was thinking like immediate when I saw a gas station was, of course, they say it increases a penny, and of course it goes up 10 cents.
Right.
Um, Thinking about it logically after like a couple minutes, I'm like, man, it's so because they just built a brand new gas station on my way into work, and that is the cheapest gas. Like I go through Peatone, it's like 358. Up on my work, it's like 349. This gas station was at 329 when it opened up.
Wow.
And I was like, great. And then I go past it on July 1st, and it's like 238. And I'm like, well, of course it's gonna go up. They say it's only gonna go up a penny, but here it is, like 9 cents. But I started thinking to myself, like, let me see what it looks like after the holiday. Maybe it's right off of 53 and River Road, and it's River Road for a reason. There's a river right there. People are gonna go boating on the holiday. People are gonna go enjoy extended weekend. supply and demand, maybe they just want to make money off the people who need gas. So
Yep.
I'm with you on this. I'm gonna go extra. I could take it or leave it. I'm even leaning more towards light, like it's not that big of a deal.
Hmm.
Um, um, do I think we needed it? Not really, because in my mind it's a penny, but I guess pennies do add up when you think of the gas that's purchased.
Yep.
Um, the problem I would have with it is if gas stations who, it's on the owners at that point. If the 1 gallon gas increase justifies them to increase it up to 10, 12 cents a gallon,
Right.
continue, that's on them. And I think if you're willing to do that, you suck. Just
Yeah.
like if it's only supposed to be the penny increase, increase the penny. Just stop being that. I do not like the fact that Illinois, I just looked up the other day and I should like is in like the top tier of gas prices in the United States. I think
Mm.
that kind of sucks. I think I think they were like 7 or 8 or whatever it was, if I looked at it right. I think it was within the top 10. And I was looking at like I wasn't comparative to like the entire country. I was mostly compared to like the Midwest.
Hmm.
And I think the closest state to us in that list was maybe Michigan. And I think it was like maybe like number 13. These are all just guesses from memory. I don't really know. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Anyone out there listening, if you're on our new Discord, Freakin' Just Discord, put in the chat. Let me know that I'm wrong. Tell you, hey, you're stupid. But I just remember seeing like Illinois, and I remember seeing like Michigan and stuff like that. So, like, I don't think we're so far off from like the cities around us. I mean, obviously, when you look at like the cheaper cities, it's more towards the oceans, which is justifiable because being in the petroleum industry, there's an understanding of the farther you're away from the oceans and stuff, the farther you're away from the pipelines, the more cost that gas is going to be because of transportation and the travel of the gas and stuff. So,
Yep.
should it be lower? I think it definitely should be lower than what it is now, but maybe not even by that much. I would love to see it get down to maybe 298 again. Very far fetched, very, hey, dare to dream. But I do believe it's possible. I do believe if they find a way to work around some stuff, I do believe we could get back down to 298 at one point. I mean, again, I just bought gas a week ago at 328. So it's not that far off. I mean, I think somewhere somebody could say, hey, you dropped by 30 cents. I think it might be doable. Even if it was for like maybe the summer, maybe the winter,
Summer's always when it goes up.
I know, like maybe just find like, hey, listen, maybe in the spring and fall we drop it down to 290, in the summer, hey, yeah, ended up at 330, 340, whatever. It would just be nice to see gas price start with a two again. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I doubt that'll ever happen.
I know, but hey, dare to dream, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tobacco vaping tax increase starting July 1st. Illinois rate taxes on vapes, nicotine pouches, cigars, and non-cigarette tobacco products from 36 to 45%. The vape tax specifically is tripling from 15 to 45 to match the rate of the other products. Retailers will also see their annual license fee double from 75 to 150. The
Wild.
new revenue includes 5 million earmarked for tobacco prevention and education programs under Illinois' fiscal year 2026 budget. Supporters say the hike is aimed at reducing youth usage and funding public health initiatives. Somewhere I read that all this kind of equates to the fact that a pack of cigarettes is going up $1 a pack. So, um,
Not bad.
that that stuff happened without state laws. It's just so
Going up $2 a pack in Indiana.
see uh for me on this and everything again I don't want to say control okay I want to rephrase this real quick. So let's do Premiere is you're happy with it. Extra you can take it or leave it. Light it doesn't matter to you. It doesn't apply. It is what it is.
Gotcha.
So for me, I'm gonna go light on this because I don't smoke anymore. I don't vape, and if I did ever want to have a cigar, out of whatever, it's not gonna break my bank, based on the one occasion I may smoke a cigar on a holiday or special occasion or whatever. So for me, I'm gonna go light. It doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't really apply to me because taxes on nicotine and stuff like that, I don't purchase them, and I haven't bought anything nicotine related since May of last year. So
Nice. I'm gonna go Premiere. I
see,
Cigarettes have probably killed more people than almost anything in human history.
Okay.
And we came so close to basically eliminating tobacco use.
Mhm.
And then vapes and pouches were invented.
Okay.
And young people really gravitated to them.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you know, I mean, you're 36. You're on the cusp of being a young people these days.
Don't feel like it, but yeah.
Uh, I'm just saying, where young people be broke.
Yeah.
And I feel like not being able to afford these things is going to make it a lot harder to continue to justify using them.
Hmm.
And um, I think on the whole, it is a good thing to get people to stop using them.
Gotcha.
To incentivize people to. Now, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure that the education and public health initiatives actually did anything.
Hmm.
Some people say they did. I have not seen the data, so I remain unconvinced.
Yeah.
Uh, but I do know that there's new studies out all the time about I don't know if you've heard of this about disposable vapes, um, like a single use. I mean, not just one hit.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Apparently, those are so full of heavy metals and lead
Mhm.
that we might have a whole generation of people with lead poisoning again, kind of like the boomers and Gen X from like drinking from the hose and leaded gasoline. Um, so yeah, I don't know. From everything I know about tobacco use and nicotine use, and I've said it before, nicotine is my absolute favorite recreational drug. I don't use it that often, but it
Mhm.
is, I get more pleasure out of it than from drinking or from smoking weed or eating an edible. Um, I love nicotine. Don't use it that much, and that's part of what makes it special. But um, I don't mind spending a little extra on something that's special if it means that kids are not going to get hooked on something for life. And not just something that's going to hook them for life. If it were healthy, you know, if it were if it were actively or at least neutral,
Mhm.
maybe I would be in the extra where I wouldn't care either way. But I don't know. This heavy metal thing that just come out, I'm kind of
Yeah.
like, it's good. It's good that the kids are going to stop doing this, hopefully, because it's
No.
three times as
No.
expensive as it was tax wise.
So your Corona Premier is more focused on the benefits of others.
Yeah.
Admiral. See, I was doing my life based on my priorities, but I 100% agree. Somebody did mention me. I think it was my buddy at work. I don't remember if it was Illinois or if it was the country as a whole or even the world. I don't know what it is. But there's an 11% of people who still smoke. I
Hmm.
just can't remember if that's 11% of the world or the state or the country or whatever it is, which blows my mind to think it's that small.
Right? It used to be everybody.
That's what I thought. Yeah, well, because yeah, it used to be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be cool for me.
Let me be
Um,
real. It's still
yeah.
pretty fucking cool.
I mean, it's a badass thing, right? Come on. I never got a chance. Who knows? Maybe I'll smoke again. I don't know, but I never got a chance to join a pipe.
Look at me committing slow suicide.
Right? Like, I can feel the crack of the lungs.
Hmm.
Um, okay. So next one, short-term rental tax. Starting July 1st, online platforms like Airbnb and Verbo that qualify as renters of short-term rentals will be subject to a hotel operator's occupation tax. This means a 6% state tax on 94% of gross rental receipts from stays under 30 days, effectively aligning short term rental platforms with traditional hotel taxation. Um, I'm going to go selfish again and say that this is light because I don't stay in hotels in Illinois. So,
Yeah, fair enough. And it's funny enough, I'm going to go Premiere because once again, with the social aspect,
mhm.
one of the ways that Airbnb was successful was that it was taking advantage of this lack of tax
Oh,
in this gray area.
Gotcha.
of business operation. And to me, this is just the law catching up with the gray area.
Mhm.
Technology advances, then the law catches up. And this to me is the law catching up. Now, oh yeah, 6%. That doesn't seem unreasonable to me.
Yeah. So
So if it was like 50%, if it was going to completely wipe out Airbnb, I would be
yeah.
like, maybe that's a problem.
So is it Premier to you because you don't like the fact that they have the tax on it, or where you at with it?
Oh, it's Premiere because I do like the tax.
Okay.
Yeah, extra to me, I thought Premiere was I'm in favor of it. Extra
Oh,
is I'm neutral. Light is I'm super neutral. I don't even give a shit.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it is. Dude, I never remember what my rules are for these
No,
things.
fair enough. I was just going the rules
Because
with
here's
you
the thing.
now.
No, here's the thing. Because in my mind, it's like here we are. Like I could tell you, Premier means this, extra means this, and then like light means this, and then halfway through the game, Premier like light and Premier extra and light means something completely different. Like I
Yeah,
said, this is like I was saying. Like I don't remember what the original rules are, but I'm looking at it as like it matters. I guess it can matter. It doesn't matter. That's
gotcha.
how I'm looking at it
Yeah,
now.
fair enough.
So yeah, I mean, it's realistically, it's just more or less like, hey, do you like it? How come? They're just
Yeah,
throwing extras and shit at it.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I like it. I
yeah.
think it's good. And the other thing is like maybe it doesn't matter as much downstate, but in
Hmm.
the city, and we're not as bad as New York, but there are plenty of apartments that are essentially kept empty and
Hmm.
rented out on Airbnb all year.
Okay.
And that's great for the people who own the apartments, but it causes the cost of living to rise for everybody in the city. And we're like the last affordable big city in the country. So like stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're almost unaffordable. And that's before this whatever quantum mechanics laboratory stuff starts getting built, quantum computing
Mm.
stuff on the South Shore gets built. That's gonna fucking we're
Yeah.
gonna be San Francisco in like 4 years, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I did realize when I was talking about how I felt about this and everything, and I said light because I don't stay in hotels and Illinois. I guess for to me it's actually light because I've never once stayed in an Airbnb and actually have no ambition to ever stay in an Airbnb. I just don't like the idea of sleeping in other people's. I don't like. It weirds me out to sleep in family members' houses, let alone a complete stranger's house. At least in a hotel, I know it's set for strangers and stuff.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I've never stayed in an Airbnb or Vrbo, and I assume obviously in Chicago, I assume they're huge, or by any lakefronts or by the water that people would want to rent out.
Yep.
Down by me, I don't see why anyone would have an Airbnb and can't
Yeah.
keep company. But
I stay at Airbnbs pretty regularly.
yeah, okay.
Um, yeah. Well, just GCR always gets an Airbnb. Because he that's just what he prefers. I think.
Are they more
Um,
affordable than hotels? Is that the idea?
in theory.
Okay.
The biggest thing with a hotel is it's very difficult to split a hotel room with 10 people.
Okay, so the Airbnb when you're renting out like a house is logical because you're splitting the cost amongst everybody.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the policies on Airbnbs though? Like as far as housekeeping.
Varies from owner to owner.
Okay.
They usually charge a cleaning fee and then also have like a if you didn't clean it well enough, another cleaning fee. Which I hate. That's the thing I hate about Airbnb. They also some depending on the owner, you
Mm-hmm.
might have like really strict rules about what you can or can't do in a place. Um, and that sucks. Whereas a hotel, they don't care. They don't care.
What kind of rules would an Airbnb have for what you can't do that you wish you could do in an Airbnb?
Um, so one thing that we actually it was a gray area we took advantage of one time was
God,
they had a
good
grill.
phrasing. Good phrase there.
Yeah.
Gray area.
Huh? Oh yeah, fair. The gray area.
Not really fair. Not really.
Unfair. Biased. So they had a grill for us to use.
Okay.
But GCR brought his own Blackstone
Gotcha.
grill top. And we decided we were going to fry chicken wings on the Blackstone.
Okay.
And so we got these foil pans, like catering pans, and filled them with oil and put them on the Blackstone and heated them up and fried our chicken wings. And then we didn't know what to do with the oil because it's not like you can just throw it on the ground at someone else's house.
Yeah.
That'd be fucked up. But you also could not fry chicken wings in the hotel,
Yeah.
right? So here's where we should have gotten in trouble, but the owners of the place were very kind to us.
Hmm.
We definitely spilled that oil on their sidewalk and stained their sidewalk permanently.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Um, and so probably going forward, they're not going to allow that kind of thing. But that would be something that probably shouldn't be allowed that we got away with. Because you could never fry chicken. You can't bring your own grill to a hotel.
Yeah.
You
Now
know,
when
you can bring a little, you can bring a little Coleman stovetop because
yeah,
I know a guy who's done that.
I can see like maybe like a small air fryer, maybe.
Yeah, that'd probably be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I
but
got it.
bringing a whole Blackstone griddle and then frying chicken in your own made up fryer setup, probably not a good choice.
Okay. Okay. See, I thought you were focusing more on the fact of like there were things you want to do that Airbnbs wouldn't allow you to do, like lay in their kitchen or lay in their living room naked, like on the
Oh, gotcha.
couch,
They do.
like something
Some
like
of them
that.
do have weird rules like that, or like
Yeah.
they'll be like you can't be loud past a certain time because they put their Airbnb in the middle of a residential neighborhood.
Mm,
Or it'll be like yeah, it's a party house for 16 people, but also you all have to be in bed with the lights off by 8 o'clock. And it's like fuck that, I'm not staying there.
that's weird.
Right.
I can tell you right now, in the because obviously when we do our cemetery vlogs, which we'll be doing in September,
Mhm.
we stay in separate hotel rooms.
Yeah.
It's more so for your benefit because I snore really bad and I don't want to keep you up at night. Um, but I can promise you that there is yet to be one hotel that we stayed in that I did not sit in the chair naked because it's my hotel. I
Yep.
paid for it. I can do what I want. If
Fair
I want
enough.
to shower, come out into the cold hotel room
Hmm.
and just sit naked in a chair while I am blown dry by air conditioning, so be it.
Hmm.
That's my right. I'm entitled to do it.
Yep.
Yep.
Preach.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You always hear horror stories of Airbnbs that like have secret cameras and shit. It's
Yeah, but you know what? I think hotels have those stories too. It's like, and you know what? If you got a camera in your Airbnb, if it's in like living room, kitchen, back door, deck, yeah, I get it.
yeah.
Bathrooms and bedrooms, it's a little weird.
Outdoor camera, fine. Indoor camera, I think I'm entitled to privacy.
I think so.
And I think in a hotel, someone might come in and do it, but
Yeah,
the hotel is not the ones putting cameras in your room, theoretically.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas an Airbnb, because it's someone's house,
Mhm.
they can put cameras wherever the fuck they want because
Yeah.
it's their house.
Do you ever when you say hotels or like Airbnbs, do you ever look for cameras? Like kind of like look around and like search?
A little bit. I don't. I'm not like paranoid about it, but just like I'm intrigued by those TikToks where they like show the false mirror thing, and so sometimes I'll
I
go
don't
do
I
that.
don't understand this. So they put scotch tape in the form of a square on a mirror. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. Like it's like I get that you're trying to look for something, but at the same time it's like I don't know what you're trying to look for.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
but it's just like, can I see a little red light through the mirror? I don't know. Just fun.
Online sports betting. Starting July 1st, Illinois will impose a new per wager tax on mobile and online sports betting. 25 cents on each of the first 20 million wagers per license per year, then 50 cents per bet thereafter. The state projects the tax will generate around 36 million annually for its general revenue fund. Um, where you at with this, Joe?
Extra. I'm right in the middle. I do think, I don't know. Uh, it's a bummer that everything has to be taxed because we can't just have a graduated tax.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, like I don't really do sports betting, and the
Mhm.
people I know who do sports betting are very successful. And I think like paying an extra 50 cents on a bet that they're going to make 5 grand on, I'm not going to lose sleep over that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess realistically, I gotta go. Some of these, I guess, I consider it extra. It can take it or leave it. A lot of these, like a lot of the ones I keep saying light, I guess it's technically extra. I don't do online beta betting. Now, I will say I'm not a huge fan of Powerball and mega tickets going from $1 to $5. I think that's
Oh, that
ridiculous.
sucks. Yeah.
I hate that
That's a
100%.
poor tax, man.
Yeah, I absolutely hate that so much. And it's yeah, I hate it. I also hate the
Yeah.
fact that
Start tying the cost of speeding tickets to the amount of money that like
right,
the personal wealth of the
mhm.
driver.
Right, yeah, 100%. Give them percentage. Like, oh, okay, yeah, no, we're giving a spit ticket of like 2%. Yeah, it's dude, but yeah, once they said like, oh, they just go up to $5 a ticket, I'm like, I mean, it sucks because even right now, like, if you were to win if you were to win a $1 billion Powerball in Illinois right now, because of the taxes involved, if you were to take a lump sum, you're walking away with I think it was $460 million.
That sounds about right.
And it's insane that you're taking more than half. And I always thought, and I told my dad this. I might have said it it's like you might as well say that the lottery is the amount that you're going to walk away with, not what this sum is. Like already factor in the tax.
Right.
Like tell me what I'm going to walk away with, not what you guys are taking from me. I would be more excited saying like, wow, I just won $460 million and I am going home with $460 million rather than you could win $1 billion. Well, you're technically going home with 460. It's the same way if I was like win $1 million lotto, but you're technically going home with 400 grand. Which
Right.
400 grand is still great. I'm paying off my debt with
Yeah.
400 grand,
Absolutely.
but $1 million sounds great. And they know that. It's like, yeah, but $1 million sounds awesome.
Yep.
It does to the people that, are taking it. I mean, obviously, if you factor in, you do the annuity thing, you get more of it back. Which at 36 years old, I guess it depends on the amount if I take in a lump sum or annuity. Um, at least with an annuity, I think you kind of will that to somebody if you pass away, but
Mm,
not a
that's
huge fan of that. But when it comes to online sports betting, I don't do online sports betting to begin with. If
hmm
this is a way to put money back into the state, so be it.
Yep, exactly.
This one I think is dumb, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
Ban on small plastic toiletries in hotels. All hotels with more than 50 rooms will be banned from offering single-use plastic bottles of shampoo, mouthwash, and similar toiletries. Smaller hotels must comply by January 1st, 2026. The law requires a shift in refillable containers with fines up to $1,500 per repeated violations. Illinois joins states like California, New York, and Washington in adopting the changes, which critics say reflect lawmakers' focus on cosmetic fixes over deeper fiscal issues. So here's the reason I don't like it is because I know that these small little plastic bottle stuff are still for sale at Walmart, Target, CVS that you could travel with.
hmm
I'm guessing this is more so for the environment, which I could respect. But it's just like it's a convenience thing when you're traveling. It's one less thing I have to travel with. Like I don't have to bring my own shampoo, my own conditioner, my own mouthwash and stuff like that. I like the idea that I like the idea that I could take what I don't use with me and bring it like on camping trips so I don't have to go out and purchase that stuff.
Yep.
So I love the fact that they're trying to do better, I guess extra in a way. No, actually no. I'm gonna go Premiere because I have a I love that they want to make the environment better, but it just sounds like an inconvenience.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel bad for the whole like, oh, sorry, we can't help you out. Make sure you bring it with you now. So,
Oh no, they I think they'll still have shampoo and soap and stuff.
but
It
they're
just
in like
right,
refillable
right.
things,
Yeah,
right?
the ones that
Okay.
are and like I can't remember, I honestly don't remember the last time I was in a hotel that didn't have a refillable shampoo and conditioner thing. I haven't been in a hotel with those tiny bottles that you can just take with you in forever. Like maybe when we did
Michigan, maybe Michigan.
Oh, I don't remember it being there in Michigan. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I know there was one state it was. No, maybe it was Indiana, the micro hotel.
could be. Could have
I
been.
know the last one we went to had the refillable, like it was like in the shower, the square
Yeah.
thing, which hey, is great. Realistically, like if you want, I mean, I'm just it just popped into my head like within like the last couple minutes of this. I mean, could they make like a biodegradable paper kind of disposable like shower thing, like a pod or something that just kind of pops and stuff like that?
They can.
Okay, so if they're doing the whole like fill thing, this is the first time I read the fill thing. Like this is the first article that says that they're gonna have like dispensers because
Mm,
everything else I read is they're getting rid of it.
gotcha.
So if they're doing dispensers, hey, okay, cool, I'm on board.
Yeah, it
Put,
says
put
on
them
the
in
note
the put them in the
UAD,
wall.
the law
People
requires a shift to refillable containers.
gotcha. Then I'm on board with that, and I'm happy with that. As long as they require it, as long as they provide that, and they do it in a way where it doesn't get stolen out of the room, then solid, clutch. Um, I guess shampoo, conditioner, maybe body wash they could do that with, and that's awesome. I don't know if they do it with mouthwash. That'd be pretty cool. If they do it with mouthwash, you might as well do it with toothpaste. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome. I
I've brought
wonder
my own
though,
mouthwash and toothpaste though.
what's up?
I've always brought my own mouthwash and toothpaste. I don't know that I've
Yeah,
ever found it in the room.
I I always brought my own toothpaste because I always had mouthwash provided in the room. And if it wasn't in the room, and this is what I'm kind of curious about, if the stuff wasn't in the room, you could always go down to the main lobby and get it.
Hmm.
Now, I guess when it comes, and again, like I said, like these small bottles, if they're getting rid of it in hotels, does that mean eventually they're going to go away from being able to be purchased in CVS, Walgreens,
Right.
stuff like that? That's a curiosity, Mike. Because then does that mean can I go down to the hotel front desk and say, hey, can I purchase a small bottle of mouthwash because I
Hmm.
didn't bring my own? It's like if if it's an amenity that you require that you don't bring with you, there's got to be a simple way to obtain it, like Q-tips. I know Q-tips, feminine products, stuff like that have always been accessible at the counter downstairs. So is that still an option? That'd be a curiosity for me.
Right. Yeah, that'd be good. I would approve of that. But yeah, and for me, this one, I'm at the extra. I a little bit don't care either way.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I do agree. Like, yeah, it's potentially a good thing for the environment. I also think like, it's another one where it feels like the law is just going along with what most people are already doing.
Hmm.
Because I feel like hotels are saving a ton of money, not basically giving away free shampoo all the time.
Yeah.
In the little bottles. I mean,
I got
obviously they're still giving it away in the refillable, but
you.
you know,
Gender reporting change. Illinois state agencies will replace male and female categories with man, woman, and non-binary or gender non-conforming in data collections. The change is part of a broader push towards inclusive practices in government reporting. Uh, Not to sound like a dick, I'm going extra because it doesn't change or affect me. Great for everyone else who, these changes are going to help. Awesome for you. If I look at it from my perspective, it's extra, I guess, premier for the outside world. Like Joe is a better person than me because he gives his opinion based on the society. For me, it's extra because it doesn't change. I'm always going to put man, male, whatever, just what I'd
right.
identify as. It's not going to change anything for me. So.
Yeah,
But I think it's cool. It's good for them. Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, with this one, that's kind of how I feel. I do think, like in the face of what's happening nationwide, I think it's awesome that our state is doing this. But I also feel like,
Yeah.
I the non-binary and gender non-conforming people I know
Mhm.
are not asking for data collection at all.
Yeah.
Um, because unfortunately, anytime you collect data, that's something that somebody can use against you. And I
Mhm.
feel like most people would rather just be like, why do you need to know that? You
Yeah.
know, that's like, what is it about what's in my pants that's so critical for you to know that it has to be recorded on a government document?
Yeah. I wonder what like as far as government reporting, like what is it specifically? Is it like
Yeah,
are
I
they
don't
talking
know.
about like just anything like is it driver's license?
Right?
Like is
I
that
don't
what this
know.
is including? Is it welfare? Is it unemployment? Food like
Right?
what I get what you're saying. It's like
Yeah.
realistically, now that think about it, it's like it shouldn't matter, right?
Right.
I mean it's kind of the same thing like when you
And
think about
maybe there are things it does matter for, and I'm not thinking of them. But yeah,
yeah, I guess logically when you think about it, because they said they're saying like gender shouldn't matter, just like race shouldn't matter. Then why are
Right.
they options on things? Like
Yeah.
it's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
I also think like if you really want to resolve these issues, quit having drop down boxes and options to select and just put a hey, fill in what.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that
That's
be a lot
weird.
easier?
Oh
Right?
man.
Right? Instead of having drop down boxes, like if I just fill in my name, fill in my
Yep.
name and my birthday, just let me fill in my gender, let me fill in my ethnicity, like just let me fill in what I'm gonna be, what I decide to assign to myself. It's a lot easier, Dan.
Yeah. I do bet that makes it harder on the people collecting the data because you're definitely going to get people who are like, today I identify as Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, yeah. Penguin. It's
Right.
like whatever, yeah. It's like what I just want to be the guy who like, they changed that for and I literally just put other.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be hilarious. I love
Uh
having other in on race.
right. It's like what is other? It's everything else. Like what? Eskimo? Like how? Climate education mandate starting in the 2026-27 school years. Illinois public schools will be required to teach students about the environmental and ecological effects of climate change. Under the House Bill 4895, the State Board of Education must begin developing instructional material and teachers training by July 1st. The mandate expands existing environmental education and focuses on identifying climate change factors and evaluating solutions. Implementation depends on lawmakers providing funding for curriculum for professional development. I'm going extra because I thought this was already a thing.
Yeah. I actually was thinking the same thing. I was like, this
Yeah.
isn't already. I feel like I.
Yeah, I thought that's called science.
Yeah.
I thought that was environmental science. I thought they talk about how the world is changing and what's
Right.
causing it and what could be what's prevented. That's okay. That's wild. So does that mean like 2026, 2027, like instead of environmental science, it's climate change education? Like that's
No idea.
um implementation depends on lawmakers providing funding. What that's something I'm also kind of curious about. Like, so is it local government has to provide the funding in order for those curriculums to develop? Like, or like that? I don't understand that.
Yeah. I don't know. State
That's
Board of Education.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's probably going to be on the state level.
Okay.
They actually fund it.
So if I'm looking at this, and again, if anyone out there, correct me if I'm wrong, Discord chat. If I'm looking at this, is that the opportunity for this curriculum is available, but it's based on the school's willingness to
Pay for.
uh finance it.
Yeah. That sounds. So it sounds like.
Yeah. So again, if I'm wrong, please correct me,
Yeah, I don't know. I
educate me,
would
let
love to
me
know
know.
more. I tried to click this link here, teach students about the environmental and ecological effects of climate change,
Yeah.
but it takes me to an error page, so I can't follow up.
I was hoping to bring you to smooth jazz.
Right? Same. I will
Uh,
say I do want to lean ever so slightly toward Premiere,
mm,
only because I do think that this is a big problem and becoming a bigger problem, and I think the focus on identifying no, evaluating solutions.
yeah.
I feel like evaluating solutions was not part of my education growing up. And so I think if you want to actually solve a problem, teaching kids how to evaluate solutions is a good way to do it.
Yeah.
So,
I guess when I think about evaluating solutions, it was the idea of reduce, reuse, recycle. To
yeah.
me, that's my mindset of like evaluating solutions is like, so I mean, I guess there's maybe more broader things about like certain light bulbs, engine exhaust, emissions and stuff like that. Obviously,
Mhm.
there's a broader education that needs to be done as far as trying to better your environment. Like I said, I always thought this was a thing. Like I thought environmental science, that's what this was. So I
Yeah,
mean, cool.
honestly, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Insulin copay cap. Illinois Bill 2189, known as the Access to Affordable Insulin Act, will take effect July 1st. It caps out-of-pocket costs for a prescription insulin under private and group insurances plans at $35 per 30-day supply, down from the previous 100 threshold. 100% Premier.
Same.
Long overdue, and I know nothing about insulin, but I did think it was more than $100 for a 30-day supply.
Same. And I didn't know that was the in Illinois. I
Yeah,
thought I didn't know we had a threshold.
yeah, but good, good. $35 for a 30-day supply. I don't, I mean, I don't know how many injections that is, but I
And
mean, if it's 10, it rounds out to $10, and so was it $3 instead of $10, or so.
yeah. So
That's awesome.
we use insulin on our diabetic cat, and we use human insulin, and it costs us $35 a month. And that's good to know that it's going to continue to cost us $35 a month.
Mhm.
Actually, it costs less than that because we buy it every 2 months, even though it's not technically supposed to last that long.
Yeah.
We wrap it in aluminum foil to shield it from light, and we keep it in the fridge. For humans, usually you just leave it out on the counter and you don't protect it from the light. It lasts the 30 days, and you're going to run out of it before it degrades.
So okay, and again, I mean, I obviously your cat can't answer this question for me, but I don't have any other diabetics around me. As far as the 30-day supply, I honestly thought that you just use insulin when it's necessary, when you have a sugar spike or anything like that. So when they say a 30-day supply, it means regardless if you have any left after 30 days, you should dispose of it, or
Yeah,
like, okay, okay,
theoretically, right?
gotcha.
Uh, Usually for a 30-day supply. Well, so for like with the glargine,
Mhm.
um, if it was left out on the counter, it would begin to degrade after 30 days. But theoretically, for a human, you're taking enough that you're going to run out about the time you hit 30 days, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
For the cats, I mean, we're getting a human-sized vial of glargine, but we're only giving him like 2 units with every meal.
okay,
So it's a minuscule amount. I mean, I think we've had probably 1,000 doses for my cat. And so at the end of 60 days, you can actually watch it take less effect on his blood sugar over 60 days. And so like by day 52, I'm calling the pharmacist and throwing out the insulin anyway because it's just not working anymore.
gotcha. Yeah, see, and I know a lot of people who utilizes pumps over like injections and needles and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's going to be a benefit to them too. So
Yeah. So my only thing is one, why stop at $35? Why not just make it free or like
mhm,
at cost? Uh and two, why is it only for people on insurance plans? What are people who don't have insurance supposed to do?
absolutely, I agree with you because I mean, realistically, I mean, well, I
I
gotta
mean,
see
I know
how
we can't pay for everything on the state level, but
uh,
someday.
private and group insurance plans. I'm guessing that doesn't include Medicaid.
Right. No, I imagine the Medicaid one is negotiated by the federal government.
Yeah, well, and that's
Who
because
knows
I'm
what the
thinking,
hell they're going to do?
yeah, because I'm thinking more of like retirees who don't have insurance other than what they could get through the
Right.
state.
Yeah.
So it's one. So is Medicaid a federal government federal coverage or a state covered?
Medicare, I believe, is federal. Medicaid is, I think, a split.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Okay.
it's partially federal, partially state.
We got two more on the WQAD website. Court interpreters requirements starting July 1st. Illinois courts must inform parties in contested cases of their right to a foreign language translator under the House Bill 5172. Judges are now required to ask whether a litigant or witness needs interpretive assistance rather than deciding on their own. The law ensures access to translators in at least 13 languages for self-present represented low-income or non-English speaking individuals. Um, same as no, not as the insulin, but same with the uh, global
Climate.
warming thing.
Yeah.
I thought this was already a thing.
Yeah, how is it not a thing already?
I thought that yeah, I thought people were already provided interpreters when they needed them. That wasn't like a judge saying like, "I'm sorry, wait, hey, we understand you good enough."
Right.
That's wild. I'm gonna go premiere as a hey, congratulations that this is actually now a thing that I thought was a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
like good on you guys. Good on you guys. That's wild that there was a
And I
at the
and I,
judge's
I do
discretion.
think there's something very funny in my mind of like, so the judge looks at a Ukrainian lady who doesn't speak any English, And he says to her, "Do you need an interpreter?" And she's like, "Probachta?" Like she doesn't fucking know. She doesn't speak English.
Yeah, yeah, and he probably takes it as sounds like no to me.
Right.
Um,
I think
honestly, like,
probachta, by the way, means hello.
hey,
Anyway,
at least she's kind. At least
right.
she's being polite before she gets screwed. Hell, I didn't even know 13 languages even existed anymore in this world. So everything like just kind of like zoned down to English, Spanish, Russian, I guess German,
Yeah, French.
French, Chinese. I guess all the Asias have different languages.
That's true. Vietnamese.
Okay, well there we go. Yeah, Vietnamese,
There
Korean,
are two.
Chinese.
Actually, there's like a dozen, but there are two main Chinese dialects, Mandarin and Cantonese.
At least 13 languages for self-represent. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Uh listen, that's in what 13 people or one person knows 13?
Yeah. I don't
Good
know.
on that guy. I want to meet that guy.
Right.
Final one is Liam's Law. Starting July 1st, 2025, Illinois will allow parents to receive a certificate of birth after a stillbirth occurring at or after 20 weeks of pregnancy under Liam's
Oh,
Law. The law
okay.
also updates state forms to use the term patient instead of mother to reflect more inclusive language. What? I'm confused. Hold on, what?
Oh, I think that last thing is just there.
So Illinois will give a birth certificate to after a still. Okay, so if some. Okay, so if a stillbirth occurs after 20 weeks of pregnancy, so what is this? Four is 5 months. So it's the second trimester.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, gotcha. So they'll provide a birth certificate.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting.
I bet that's I bet that's so meaningful for a lot of people.
I think so. I mean, because I
Still
mean,
are crushing. I'm so glad that I never had to deal with that in my chaplaincy.
mm, I never really thought about the importance of having a birth certificate. Like, that's
Right?
wild. I never really thought about that. Like I said, I mean,
Yeah.
without being a parent, I couldn't imagine like how the necessity for that. I think that's cool though. I'm gonna go premiere on that. I think, I think, I guess in a way, does that like humanize the child then? Like that birth certificate humanizes the
I
birth of
think
the
that's part of
child.
it.
Yeah.
Um, Trying to find out more information here. So, like, my guess, without finding information, is that without a birth certificate, it's a lot harder to like uh, obtain and bury the remains the way that you'd like to. It would not surprise me if you know if you had a stillbirth at 19 weeks, if they just took the remains away and disposed of them like they would dispose of any other medical waste. And so I imagine that if you're 20 weeks into pregnancy,
Yeah.
you it's a wanted baby. It's a wanted
Mhm.
child.
Yeah.
And I think probably at that point the child should be big enough that you could have a funeral service for it if you wanted to.
I think
And so
so.
that's my guess is that it helps facilitate
Mhm.
that sort of thing.
Yeah. I'm going to because like what 20 weeks is the halfway mark.
Yeah, roughly.
I'm guessing maybe most parents are, getting a room together, getting names picked out, fantasizing about the future and stuff like that. So I, I mean, like I said, I think that's great. I'm premiering the hell out of it. It
Hmm.
just,
Yeah.
it's surprising that in my mind, like I never really thought about,
Yeah, I've never thought about
yeah,
a
birth
birth
certificate.
certificate for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
So I
cool.
have, I mean, it comes up in in chaplain training.
Mhm.
Um, do you baptize a stillborn baby or not? Because theologically, under most traditions, they're already dead, and you
Yeah.
can't baptize the dead.
Mhm.
Um, but as a chaplain, you have a duty of care to the person in front of you, and
Mhm.
so no one. I'm putting this on the record because I'm not a chaplain. But very few chaplains will go on the record and say this, I think, because I'm pretty sure it's such a gray area. But you baptize the stillborn baby.
Yeah.
If it means that much to the parents, it'll mean the world to them. Just do it. You know? That's pastoral care in that moment. And it's I never thought about the legal side of things at all.
Mm,
But that's important too.
yeah. That's awesome. There was one that I saw earlier that's not on here. The one that I think I mentioned that I don't like the verbiage of it.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically it says that on certain reports and stuff like that, the word accident is now going to be considered crash. So there are no longer accidents when it comes to vehicles. They're now car crashes. I don't like that because it's just pretty much guaranteeing it's at fault of the driver, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of that. But I mean, we can dive more into them as they come up. And like I said, this is the first week they're coming up. I'm sure more are going to pop up and everything. And of course, we'll continue to move forward and hopefully do the the corrupt politicians. We'll put that off to next week.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah,
good.
that's our Matt Damon. So, uh, Joey, what are you freaking thinking about?
This is a weird one, I
Ooh,
think.
ooh,
So GCR has been real into this thing called water kefir lately. Are you familiar with regular kefir, milk kefir? It's kind of
no.
like a yogurt that you can drink.
Okay.
It's a fermented milk product. Um, it tastes pretty good as a milk, but it's full of like probiotic goodness. It's great for your gut microbiome and stuff.
Okay.
Well, somehow he came upon it's a similar thing, but you make it with water instead of with milk. And he's been doing it for like a month and a half, and was loving it. And asked if I, and the thing is that they are, you get these little grains. They're called kefir grains, and you fill it like a mason jar up with water, some sugar, some salt, some baking soda, molasses, and whatever fruit you'd like it to taste like. And you just let it sit for like 3 days. And in that time, the kefir grains will eat all of the sugar and turn it into a really healthy, delicious beverage. It's lightly carbonated. It's great. They also reproduce. And so, like, every 3 days, your kefir grains double. So he has more kefir grains than he knows what to do with. He reaches out to me, says, "Hey, you want some of these?" I say, "Yes, please." Um, and so I was down visiting our my grandma's because both of them were together for a couple of days there, and swung through the shop, picked up the mason jar of stuff, and brought it home. And I've been making it ever since. And today,
Yeah.
I got in from Amazon um, 4 half-gallon mason jars with the special kefir cap lid so that I don't have to like um, it filters out the kefir grains so that you can just pour it. You don't have to worry about it. It twists so that you can let the air off so it doesn't explode. It's awesome. 4 of those, 4 lids, and 8-liter sized bottles, like swing top bottles, so that I can have basically 8 days worth of kefir water at any time. And I'm really excited about that. I've really enjoyed it. I have not been able to make enough to keep up with how thirsty I am
Mhm.
for stuff that's not tap water or milk. So I'm really excited. I now have enough stuff. I just have to wait for the grains to propagate enough that I can fill all 4 mason jars.
So
But
what's the estimated drink date for your stuff then?
um, let's see. I've got one going that'll be ready to open on Sunday. I'll split that one into two
Okay.
on Sunday. Those will split on Wednesday. So next Sunday, Sunday the 11th, 13th. Wow, I was way off. Sunday the 13th, I should have all 4 jars going, and hopefully my thirst will be slaked.
You should you should create a video of doing this so we can put it up on Freakin Studios for content.
That's a really good idea.
Oh yeah, we need to get content. We gotta get content out there.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I even got I got a tripod I could use for that.
There we go. Hell yeah, brother.
So what about you? What are you freaking thinking about?
So work has been a hellscape all week. Today has been the absolute worst of it. Um, I've been trying to watch Thunderbolts all day. Typically when I'm at work and I'm trying to do everything, I'll like put a movie on or something and
Yeah.
I'll listen to it, but I'll kind of glance at it while I'm working on everything. Today it wasn't even possible. When I tried to get home, I tried to lay down, I'm like, okay, uh, I got I got the router modem up, everything's going, I'm settled. It's roughly about 7:05. The movie's 2 hours long. I can at least get an hour in,
Hmm?
whatever. I got 15 minutes. So it's just nonstop with the phone. And obviously, while we're recording, work is still doing the same thing. It's a headache. It's annoying. But hey, when the expectation is teamwork makes the dream work,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't happen, it's whatever. So as soon as we get done here and I get everything as far as our recording and stuff edited and released and good to go, I'm going to hopefully watch Thunderbolts without getting a text or a phone call from an inspector, from a lab, from management, from anyone who could just leave me be for 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
since 6 this morning to allow me to enjoy life just for a little bit. So
Wild.
yeah,
Absolutely wild.
it's like it's insane that it's insane that there's only 15 days out of the entire year where I could truly just have to myself because weekends aren't a thing. I mean, I relax on most weekends. I do actually work on most weekends, but it's still always got to have the phone available. You always got to have the laptop available. And even when I call off sick, there's still always a call about a question and stuff like that. And the thing is, like, if I was upper management and I was making six figures a year and stuff like that, I can
Mm-hmm.
understand it. I can accept it. Hey, it is what it is. But I'm not upper management. I'm not making six figures a year. And I love the company I work for, but work doesn't own you.
Yeah.
You you gotta be able to physically be able to relax for 2 hours to yourself and be able to enjoy life for like a brief moment. I shouldn't have to.
I'd even look, we're both Masons.
Yeah,
I'm a big 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest and enjoyment, and 8 hours for sleep.
yeah, yeah. There's something I found on Instagram that I saw about that, and I would love to live that life. It was like 8 hours dedicated to work, 8 hours dedicated to sleep, and then your 8 hours is for oh god, what if I can
What
get
you
a
will.
photo? Yeah, they call it. I think it's called HHH or something like that. Or um, all right. Uh,
Hunter Hearst Helmsley?
yes, that one. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Uh, no, it's not
I had to
under.
double check for the last name, otherwise that would have been faster.
Here we go. So the 888 rule. Distribute your day 24 hours into an 888 hour. Come on. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Thanks. Oh, you psychos. There we go. 8 hours of hard work, 8 hours of sleep. Screw you, Instagram, for not having a pause button. That's
Mm,
psycho of you.
it really is, isn't it?
Yep. 8 hours of hard work, 8 hours of good sleep, 8 hours dedicated to the three F's, three H's, and three S's. Three F's are family, friends, and faith. Uh, three H's are health, hygiene, and hobby. And
Ah,
three S's are soul, service, and smile.
oh,
So I like that, and I would love to live that way to some aspect.
yep,
I just know that right now I live the type of life where I love doing the podcast and stuff. I love doing what we're doing. That's
yeah.
never going to change. Um, I know on Mondays I'm committed to JFW. Wednesdays we're focusing on here and everything. If I ever do the other podcast with Gabagool where we're talking about maybe doing some kind of sports, Chicago sports podcast, we're talking about doing that and stuff like that. I love having my free time to do that stuff. I hate that because of work and everything, I either have to sit at my dinner table with my laptop in front of me and my plate for dinner off to the side, or eating on my way home because I know as soon as I get home, I got to deal with the computer, I got to deal with phones and texts and all this crap and some of it's.
Mm-hmm.
Am I underpaid? Yes, 100%, 100%. You know it, but it just is what it is, and
Yep.
I do everything I can to maintain calm, stress free, and peace. It's not easy all the time, but majority of the time I'm doing fine. So
Yep.
hopefully
We're
again I can watch Thunderbolts.
great
Work
movie.
we don't have work tomorrow. It is Independence Day.
Nice.
So I don't have to go to bed right away tonight. So hopefully I can handle and watch that. So
Mhm. Yep.
hey Joe.
Yeah.
Every week our listeners catch Cartoon Joe here on this freaking show. But if an hour of Cartoon Joe just isn't enough for our listeners, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Blue Sky by searching Geekcast Live.
Excellent. Guys, you know the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just freaking show. But now you can also find us over at Discord, the Freaknet Studios Discord channel. You can find the socials to our podcast here, but as well as the other podcasts that are part of Freaking Studios, plus a notification of when our YouTube content is delivered. That is all available. Go over to Discord, sign up. If you can't find it, go over to our This Freaking Show Facebook page, and the link to Discord will be right there in the post. So join us. We'd love to have you. And we'd love to build a community over there for not just the fans of here, but the fans of JFW, the Power Hour, Loving Intoxicated Podcast, Scourge Society, and any other podcast that we bring into Freaknet Studios, such as the Faith one and possibly even the sports one. So
Nice.
yeah. Guys, that's all I got. As always, I am Travis State,
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
and thank you for listening to another episode of this freaking show. I'm out.